Hey everyone, there are many scammers among us, and I've made a couple of videos lately trying to expose them. And you can go back and watch them, but some of you are a little suspicious about who is scamming who. So you remember that last video I made where Michael the scammer snitched on his scammer friends? And you remember how I blamed it all on Segun? Well, I was surprised by how many of you were concerned about Segun's welfare.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Did he get killed? Did he get butchered? No, I don't think so. There was actually more to my conversation with his boss. I actually don't usually include the full conversations I have with these scammers because I'm a storyteller. I want the story to move fast, and I cut things out when they slow down the momentum. But after I blamed Segun, I actually went on to say that I was just kidding and that I actually had the names of all the scammers in the house, including Segun. But the scammer playing Penny Jarvis didn't care about what I had to say, and he knew I was some American trolling him, and he just went off on me and how my ancestors robbed and beat his ancestors and how scamming was how they pay us back. And that's when I decided to block him because I was just tired of hearing it. I just thought that the Segun line was kind of a funny way to end the conversation, you know? But I can see how you guys thought I went too far. I mean, I really do care about people, even the ones that are trying to scam me. But I should have given you some closure. By the way, Segun and Michael were never their real names to begin with. I photoshopped different names to keep them private, because YouTube has a privacy policy that can really bite you if you're not careful. But I don't think that you guys need to worry about Segun because I'm somewhat suspicious that Segun was even a real person to begin with.
Excuse me, what?
Let me explain. I hadn't heard from Michael since he disappeared several months ago when this story actually took place, and I thought it was time to check in on him and see how he liked the video that I made about him. But I didn't have his contact info. I didn't even know his last name. But I did know his mom's name. You remember the mom who died a couple of years ago, supposedly? The one who he made a tribute video about? Well, I went to search for his mom on Facebook and I found her profile. And I saw some of her posts, even though she hasn't been active for like 2 years. And I looked at some of the people commenting on her posts and I found a woman that addressed her as Mom. And I was like, hey, that must be Michael's sister. So I sent this woman a message to see if she knew where Michael was. And she was so confused because she didn't have a brother by that name. And moreover, her mother is alive.
I'm not dead!
Michael sent me a tribute video of a woman that he just randomly found on Facebook and stole pictures from, just like he did with my friend Jeff. Yikes. It's a good thing I kept that video private because some poor woman in Nigeria just got catfished. So now we have every reason to question everything else Michael told me, including the validity of Tunde and Segun, which aren't even their real names to begin with, but what does it matter because they might have been made up anyway. Why do I say that? Well, let's hear from you guys. Here's a comment that reads, Ben just got scammed. Michael and Tunde are the same person. You don't even know my address was a dead giveaway. He just so happened to give him the picture of the house and then Tunde says that? Really? Man's got played. Okay, I gotta admit, this guy has a point. I mean, I could not have written this story any better, even if I did make it all up. He seriously couldn't have said it at a better time. He must have known that I had a picture of his house just ready to drop like an Uno reverse card. And that's why he said the line. That's almost too convenient. Also, when I showed him his picture, his first response was, someone might have snitched on me. Like, really? He guessed right both times? It's like he's just throwing me softballs because he knows what info I have on him. Another clue is that he addressed me as Mr. Ben. And it just hit me that I never even told Penny Jarvis my name when I reached out to her, but she addressed me as Mr. Ben? That's a very unique name that only people who watch my channel call me. It's what my friend Chica Ordery started calling me last year. More to come on that story very soon, by the way. I've even had fans make me Funko Pops for Mr. Ben. Nobody would ever call me Mr. Ben who didn't follow my channel. By the way, is anyone interested in these Mr. Ben Funko Pops? I'm thinking about selling them and using the money for service projects in Africa or something. So let me know what you think. Also, before he even knew I had a YouTube channel, he was offering to share how scams work. Like, who would do that to a random stranger? Who besides me would pay a scammer for intel? It's almost like he knew I was a scam baiter when he reached out to me. This is going to depress me to ask, but did I get scammed? So I'm thinking this guy could have been wanting money or was a follower of the channel who wanted to troll me, and when I proposed he get some info on his bosses, he must have jumped at the opportunity. But did he make it all up? Let's go to another comment. Yeah, and the scammer was very afraid of his boss colleagues would find out he had something to do with exposing them, but he was excited to see a very public YouTube video be created on the topic. Seems a little fishy. I do like Pleasant Green, but this one seems a little too perfect. I like you too, Dylan, and you may have a point. It's almost too perfect. 'Cause Michael had absolutely zero concerns with me teasing his bosses or uploading this video. I mean, he actually encouraged me to do it. One more thing to look at is the screenshot that he sent me when he told me about Tom's profile. If you look at it, you can see that it's clearly in Nigeria by the cell service he's using and also by the time zone that he was in. So this isn't some American, it's definitely Nigerian. But one of my inside contacts told me that this app he has installed is an app cloner called DualSpace that will allow you to duplicate apps on your phone. Which means he could have been communicating to me as Michael on one Facebook Messenger app, but also communicating to me as Tom on another Facebook app, on the same device. There's a lot of smoke here. But is there fire? Did he really pull off the perfect scam? Some of you definitely think so, but what do the rest of you say? I'm really torn on this one, really torn, but maybe you guys can weigh in a little bit more with some additional clues.
Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
And I'm making this video just to be open with you and say that I read your comments and I do appreciate you guys helping me dig into these scams. You guys are a lot more clever than me. I'm just a tall dude on a little couch with a camera and a laptop. What the heck do I know? I'm just reacting to these scams as I see them. And maybe sometimes I could end up being the victim.
You were the chosen one!
And I'll be the first to admit that I'm not scam proof. And you know what? Nobody is. The great Jim Browning, my friend, just fell for a scam that got him to delete his entire channel. And thankfully he got it back, but it just goes to show you that anyone can get scammed. Also, I know that a lot of you say that my videos are scripted, and to that I say, yes, they actually are scripted, thanks to my handy dandy teleprompter. Here, let me show you right now. I write everything down before I record and I put it on this teleprompter, and this is the ProLine Plus iPad Pro model from prompterpeople.com. They provided this to me just to help my videos, and I just love this thing so much. It makes it easy to write down my thoughts ahead of time and I just read off screen. I just hook my camera to it and away I go. I used to use this cheap little thing, but it wasn't nearly big enough. But this model has a huge display and it just makes making videos a lot more easier. So it's just a great tool. It's solid, it's beautiful. You gotta check them out at prompterpeople.com if you wanna start making YouTube videos yourself. But the stories certainly are not made up. I couldn't make them up even if I tried. I'm not that creative. Like the story of those scammers who decided to clean up their neighborhood and pull weeds and make the place look nice. You remember them? Well, I told viewers that if they wanted to donate to the brothers, they could. And some of you came through, and we raised a couple $100. And the brothers said that they wanted to feed the refugees who were living in their city. If you read the news, you'll know that hundreds of thousands of refugees have been displaced in Nigeria. It's a tragic crisis that rarely gets any attention. And I basically told these brothers that if we spent the money on food, we could feed people for a couple of days. And we really needed to think long term. So the brothers took the money and they bought farming equipment. They bought a rice peeler and a melon peeler, and they went to teach the refugees how to farm and take care of themselves. And they kept sending me pictures, updating me on how everything was going. And the funny thing is that someone from Superstaff's page saw their scam comment from a previous video, and they sent them a text message to get their prize money. And Richard responded and said, "I'm sorry, I stopped scamming. I gave my life to Christ." That's cool. That's really cool. This is something that's definitely real because they just keep sending me updates every day on what they're doing. The only problem is that the refugees they're helping all think that my name is really Ben Dover. Well guys, this is a different video for me, but I just thought it was time to get real with you. I figured you deserve transparency in all this, and I just want you to know what you've subscribed to and hopefully get to know my process a little bit more. I feel like sometimes you're helping solve these mysteries just as much or even more than me. And I guess in the end, it doesn't really matter who scammed who. Maybe scam baiting is more about the friends that we meet along the way. Hopefully the videos are entertaining and somewhat informative, and hopefully you're seeing a part of the world that's new to you. Hopefully you're changing your mind about certain people and cultures. Anyway, I'm still learning, I guess, and I hope that you are too. But come on back and we'll try to uncover more of these mysteries together. So thanks so much for being with me, and I'll see you on the next video.